Hi there, I'm Christina from Speak English with Christina, and today we're going to look at, when you need help reaching advanced English. And if you want to activate the subtitles for this video, go ahead and click on the little CC icon down at the bottom. Now, first we're going to look at the challenges that you face when you're trying to reach an advanced level alone. Because if you're at intermediate today, and you're trying to get to advanced, that final 20 to 30% is always the hardest, part to really reach. And you're probably facing one or maybe more, the three biggest challenges that learners face when they're at an intermediate level and they want to get to advanced. And the first challenge is, just avoiding excuses and actually making time. So many of my students, they say, oh, I don't have time to do this. And it's not about having time. It's about making time and making this, part of your day, making it a priority for yourself. Another challenge you might be facing is just feeling stuck because you're at intermediate and you're not seeing any more progress. So you feel frustrated and you just give up. You're like, I can't improve. I don't know what to do. I do a lot of stuff, but I don't see any results. And you just kind of give up on that goal. And another challenge that a lot of students face when learning English is just feeling overwhelmed by the options because there are so many resources out there for you, so many methods, so many courses. And it's just like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. So when you're faced with one or more of those challenges and you're alone and you're trying to get to an advanced level, it is very easy to just abandon your project because of all those frustrations. You don't know what to do, so you just do nothing. And that really creates this inertia, like you're not moving forward, you're not progressing, and that creates, of course, frustration. And when you're at that point, that's when it's time to get help. That's when you cannot do it alone anymore. So, don't limit yourself by continuing to do the same old things that you did in the past. You're just putting limits on yourself. Now, let's talk a little bit about accountability because this is something that is very important when you're trying to reach these, higher levels in English. Now, there was a very interesting article on Forbes. It was the secret to every entrepreneur's success is accountability. And you can just change entrepreneur and put language learner or English learner because accountability is going to be one of the secrets to your success. Now, if you don't know this word, accountability, basically what it means is having someone who supports you in your transformation, your progress, having someone who makes sure that you do the work that you're supposed to do. It's having someone who, they count on you to show up and to do it. They're waiting for you to come to class. They are, there to practice conversation with you, but they are there for you and they're waiting for you. And they won't let you find excuses like, I'm too busy right now, or, oh, I don't know, I don't feel like it, or, oh, I didn't prepare anything, so I can't come to the class. No. It's also someone who pushes you to reach your goals, who sees that you can do it, and who really pushes you to do more than you think is possible. And someone who, holds you accountable is someone who's going to also help you to stay motivated and focused when you encounter maybe a decrease in your motivation, which is totally normal when you're learning a language. And if you put all that together, it's going to help you to finally go from intermediate to advanced. You've got someone who is pushing you, someone who is pulling you up, and making sure that you reach those advanced goals. Now, since we're talking about my program, Master Real American English, I want to share a little bit from past students and what they said about how this program gives you that accountability. This is one student, Joanna. She is French. She's a doctor, but she lives in the US. And she said that, I had the motivation to improve, but I didn't know how or where to start. And the program was really important for that. With the group, I realized that I'm not alone. And that's important because now I know what to do to continue improving, and I'm confident about the future. There's definitely a before and after from this program. Aisha, who also works in the US, she's from Turkey originally. She says, I knew what I should do to improve my English, but this program forced me to do it all, to take the time. I had to think about my goals and take time to prepare each lesson. I did the work because I wanted to see the results and get the most out of each session. So again, it's just that idea of having that reason, having that objective, and then taking the time to make sure that you reach that objective, because someone, your classmates, your teacher, your coach, is waiting for you to show them what you've done. So if today you feel stuck and you don't know how to move to the next level, if you always feel like you don't have time or you just don't take the time to do it, and if you're lost with all the resources available and you just don't know where to start, then this is the moment when you need some support, you need some accountability to make sure that you reach your goals. And that's what you're going to get in the Master Real American English program. If you didn't watch the introduction to this program, quick little recap. It's a 3-month virtual immersion coaching program. You have to apply to join, and the deadline is on Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. And in that program, these are the people that are going to hold you accountable. Your coach. And this here on the screen is just a screenshot of a conversation from our WhatsApp group for this program, where you can see Romy, one of the students, she did a recording. She said, I'm not sure, but then I came in there and listened and said, it's good, and gave you a little correction. So there to make sure that you're constantly learning. Your classmates. So here, Cyril says, sorry, I'm working on my house. I've got some troubles with it. I can't come to the session. I'll see you guys next time. Have fun. And then his classmates, Sebastian and Benny, came in and it's like, oh, come on, join us. It's just 1 hour. You can do it. And guess what? Cyril took a break from working on his house and came into his session. And he said he was really glad he did in the end. Your conversation partners. So, for example, here, Ednaldo was absent from one of his conversation session, and Ava came in and said, hey, do you want to jump on Skype with me and we can practice the topic maybe during the weekend? And Ednaldo said, yeah, great, that would be lovely. So even though he missed the official conversation session, he still got support from his classmate, Ava. And of course, your teacher is also there to help you. You can see that Delilah told me all about the work that she did with her teacher, Trisha. And Ahmed jumped in and says, yeah, I totally agree with you. It's great to get confidence with your speaking skills, etc. So if you join the program and you have all of that support and the accountability, what happens when you stick with it? When you continue to do the work, you do the work regularly, and you work towards your goals. When you start off with this program, after just 3 days of starting, you're going to realize that there is a big difference between spoken and written English. And this is just going to be your aha moment. You're like, okay, I'm starting to understand why it's so hard for me. But also you're going to start to clearly recognize some of the common phrases that you're going to hear as you get started with the program. Like, so what'd you do? Or, I don't know. But really getting your ear used to hearing very common phrases, which is a key to fluent listening. Then, after 3 weeks in the program, already you're starting to feel more confident about your listening and your speaking, but you've also realized that for example, you really need to improve on your ability to make small talk with colleagues. This is just an example, but the idea is that you're starting to identify the places where you really need some help. And when you do identify that place or that thing, you ask your teacher or your coach for some advice and some exercises to improve that specific point that is difficult for you. You start to practice. Sometimes you're doing deliberate practice. We talked about this several videos ago. Maybe working on some exercises or some very structured conversation. And then you also do it in more informal conversations, doing natural practice with your classmates or with your conversation partners. But you're really focusing on that thing that you specifically need to improve on. And then after 3 months, you've completed the program, you've set up your virtual immersion, and it's just a part of your daily life. And maybe even you've forgotten how you felt before when you felt blocked, because now it's just totally natural for you. And you sound and you feel more confident in conversations. You're less worried about your mistakes. And you also perhaps notice that a lot of times native speakers don't really care if you make little mistakes, as long as they can understand you, and in most situations, they can. So you know that you're still learning. You're not absolutely perfect. No one is. But your native speaker colleagues are taking you more seriously because you started to talk like them, to use those same colloquial expressions, and you literally speak their language. And that's already leading to better relationships in your career and your personal life too. And then in the long term, when you're sticking with it and you're continuing to learn, you know that you're still not absolutely bilingual, but you don't stop every 10 words to think of what you want to say next. And you never thought that you would get to this point, but you're thinking in English and people are complimenting you on your good level of English. And as a result, you're going to have deeper relationships, both in your business and your personal life. You'll have better career prospects, better financial situation perhaps. And just that, that personal satisfaction of saying, you know what, I did it. I invested in myself. I had this goal and I took the action to make it happen. And of course, my team and we are here to support you throughout the entire duration of the program. So if you would like our help and support, applications officially open for this program, and they are open until Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. We're going to select a small number of students to participate, so you must apply to join the program. And all of the details and the application is at this address that you see on the screen, but I'll also put a link directly to that page in the notes below this video. Now, before we finish, I have a question for you. Which one is your biggest challenge today? Of those 3 challenges we mentioned, making time and avoiding excuses, feeling stuck and frustrated, or feeling overwhelmed by the options, what is the one biggest challenge that is preventing you from reaching your goals in English? Tell us, share it with us in the comments so we can already start to support you. And in our next lesson, we're going to see what you get when you have an advanced level of English. There are some great rewards, some, really great possibilities for you, and we're going to see what you can get when you reach that advanced level. All right, that's it for this time, and I will see you next time. Bye.